Hi everyone, it's Kino here. How's it going? Happy Saturday. It's really sunny out here. So I came outside today because I wanted to share a little tutorial with you today, and people requested Asavakrasana as a tutorial, so I'm going to be sharing that with you today. It's very sunny. Let me try to just get it a little there and use my hair as a little sun buffer. So where's everyone from before we get started? And as you're typing where you're from, I'm going to tell you what the tutorial is about. So the tutorial today, Asavakrasana, is a really cool arm balance that is actually more accessible than you might think. Asavakrasana is translated into English as the 8-angle pose. And this arm balance combines strong activity in the shoulders with a good flexibility, good forward bend flexibility, as well as a good hip flexion flexibility. So I'll go over those details with you, and just want to say hi to everyone. We've got people joining from Alaska, London, UK, Iowa, and someone suggesting sunblock. And I have sunblock. I actually only use sunblock on my face. I never put sunblock on my body. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's not a recommendation. It's just what works for me. Hi, Ohio, Orlando, fellow Floridian. What's up? Awesome. So cool. All right. Should we get started? Oh, hi, Greece. I love Greece. Nice. Very cool. Okay, let's get started. So Asavakrasana, as I mentioned, is the arm balance. So first, let me show you the arm balance. You first. It's not the tutorial. I just want to show you so you all know what we're working on, okay? So Asavakrasana and the arm balance looks like this. All right? So this is the arm balance. And this is what we're working on, okay? So how do we get there? First, we need to have the flexibility. So let's work the flexibility first. Number one, you got to get the good forward bend flexibility. In a good forward bend flexibility, you can get in Padangusthasana and Padahastasana. So if you always get your forward bend flexibility, you can think about it just working here, a good forward bend flexibility, that's kind of step one. Then you need a good external rotation. So to get into a good external rotation, then you can use the triangle pose, but what's going to help you out more in Asavakrasana, let me show you over here, is, let me not fall off the patio, is not only triangle pose, but Parsvakonasana. Parsvakonasana posture, the navel draws in, the chest opens, and your hand on the outside. For Asavakrasana, you could even try hand on the inside and work towards the lizard pose. Lizard pose is wonderful for getting you into the flexibility that you need for Asavakrasana, okay? Now, next, when you think about what else can prepare you for Asavakrasana, we have our friend, which is kind of turning into one of my favorite postures, Marichasana A. So Marichasana A combines everything that we just did before, here we are, and gets you into that kind of hyper hip flexion where you're bringing your chest down between the thighs. Great. So now we got the components. Now you need the arm balance. There are two different versions of the arm balance you need. First, the flexibility to do what's called the elephant trunk pose is what we've worked on. I just got a twig in my hair. This is a nice little twig. I think it's from our mango tree behind us. So when you work the elephant trunk pose, you're going to draw the hips back and up and the shoulders forward. So the elephant trunk pose will get you up into Asavakrasana, but if you want to actually do the posture, you need to have a bent elbow strength. So the bent elbow strength can come from the posture called Bhujapadasana, which is here. So I'm kind of going over what could be a little preparatory sequence for you. Bhujapadasana, and you can see now start to work a little external rotation. Then you got to bend your elbows, and you can put your forehead on the ground or the chin down and lift the head back up, right? Okay, there are all the components that you could do as the prep. So now let's talk about how to actually get into the posture Asavakrasana. So you can think about it broken down into two components. You've got one component is the prep, and then you've got another component that's actually just expressing everything that you've worked. Parentheses, everything I just showed you, you probably want to practice for something along the lines of 10 years before it all starts to make sense. Okay, so now let's Asavakrasana together. Okay, here we are. I'm going to continue on the left side. Now, elephant trunk pose, then hook the feet. So now you can see the similarity between Bhujapadasana, Asavakrasana, which is an asymmetrical arm balance. So I've got it only on one side. Now you can test out your flexibility. Straighten the legs. That's the flexibility that will help you for getting into the posture. All right, now, first thing to do, you keep the knees bent. Pretend that you're lifting up into your elephant trunk pose. So you inhale, you pick it up. and exhale, put it down. That's the first step for Asa Vakrasana. I'll show you from the side as well. You inhale, you pick it up. Exhale, you put it down. All right? Do it a couple times. Shoulders forward, hips back and up. All right? Shoulders forward, hips back and up. Shake it out. And then, now, I'm going to show you how to get into the posture completely. So here we go. Put my hair on the other side so I can still see you. All right? So, get it in. All right, so if you couldn't do that like I did with the leg, you can grab your calf muscle, place it on top of your shoulder, bend the elbow, and hook it in to let it stay there. Keep your shoulder very stable. Hook the feet, okay? Then pick it back, start to straighten the legs, and then pitch your shoulders forward and down while the hips go back and up. And this is your Asa Vakrasana position. Make sure the elbows stay drawn in and your hips are pulling back and up. And when you come out, you can come out in the same way. There are many different entries into this posture. You could get into it from headstand. You could jump into it. You could get into it from handstand. There's all sorts of things. I'll show you one more time on the right side, just so that you can really, really see. All right. So again, if we go through Marichyasana A, elephant trunk pose to prepare, and then the little lift. So we just practice. And the direction is forward into the arms, exhale down. Then, all right, you can come forward into the arms. Next step, straighten the legs. Next step, bend the elbows, chest forward, hips back and up, all right? Now, you don't want the hips too much of up, so you don't want it to be angled like this. Otherwise, you'll be sinking into the shoulders. So you need to keep the shoulders open and at the same time activate the core. That will give you a nice stable base for Asa Vakrasana. Now I'm really sweating because it's hot here in the sunny, beautiful Miami, Florida. And I hope that you found this tutorial useful and that you're inspired to practice yoga. And I hope that there are people watching who are really, really going to apply this technique and also understand that strength, you cannot snap your fingers and just be strong in the yoga practice. I've been practicing for over than 20 years. And when I first started practicing, I was really, really weak. Okay, so I see that there's a question. And let's see, I'm going to tap where did it go? Okay, so there's a question. What is good hand power exercise? All right, that is a very interesting question. So what can you do to build strength in the hands and also strength in the shoulders? So I really recommend, if you're trying to build strength in your shoulders, obviously what we just did is very, very useful, but you can also think about that plank pose. And making sure that your body weight is pivoting forward enough in plank pose is a really, really good way to build the strength in the shoulders, all right? So that will also help make sure that you're bearing weight properly on the hands. You want to grip your fingertips, root down into the knuckles, and press into the heels of the hands. And that's going to help you in developing strength in your hands, in your shoulders, in your whole body. There's some more questions are there. Okay, so let's see. What if any exercise for gaining weight? So the yoga practice doesn't really care what size body you have, whether you're, a bigger bodied student or you are, different shape. The yoga practice is really for everyone. And the idea that I want to encourage each of you is to do the practice, not to try to change the shape of your body, but to do the yoga practice to make peace with the shape of your body and who you are. And so that the natural expression of health and vibrancy for you can be expressed in every moment of your life. So I don't want to encourage you or tell you that there's postures to gain weight or lose weight or do this or do that. Instead, I want you to just know that the yoga practice brings you more peace and more harmony, and that as you keep practicing, that peace and harmony gets expressed in every moment of your life. So let's see if there are any more questions. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see. Does a yoga practice, this is a good question. Does a yoga practice Is a yoga practice only about the physical practice? Oh no. As I was just talking about, the yoga practice is actually a spiritual journey, so that you use the asanas as tools to bring your mind into harmony with your body. And when your mind and harmony are in a deep state of coherence, your life is just filled with so much joy and so much happiness that it's like changes everything. So it's really a spiritual journey. If the yoga practice is not a spiritual journey, in my opinion, then keep searching so that you can find the spiritual practice in your yoga practice. So let's see what other questions exist here. I just discovered this question thing the other day. Let's see. Okay, this is a good question. How much time do I spend doing yoga? So my daily practice consists of 1 hour of seated meditation plus 60 to 90 minutes of yoga, so 1 to 1.5 hours of yoga every single day. And 6 days a week, 6 days a week, the yoga practice like that, 60 to 90 minutes of yoga 6 days a week. Plus 1 hour of seated meditation in the morning every single day, plus a shorter meditation in the evening before I go to bed at night. And that's my daily practice. We'll see what other questions have popped up in here. All right, this is an interesting question. There's a plane flying above my head, so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry for your audio, but I'm not sorry for them. I hope they have a really nice trip wherever they're going. Okay, how much time would it take me to do a handstand? It took me 5 years of consistent practice every single day before I was able to do a handstand. And the lesson that I learned is how to believe in myself through the ups and downs of life. And this is a lesson that you can learn too if you just start practicing. The yoga practice teaches you that those postures which are the most challenging are the most places where you're going to have the best ability to grow spiritually and learn from. All right, I'm going to do a few more questions. Let's see. All right, this is a good question. How do you stay motivated to practice every day? A lot of yoga students want to know this question. How do you stay motivated to keep practicing? The yoga practice itself is my motivation. I feel better each time I get off the yoga mat. And when I don't practice and I don't do my meditation practice, then I don't feel connected. I feel a little bit lost, and I feel almost like I'm outside of my body. So in that way, I'm inspired to practice every day. Just like the yoga practice has become a daily ritual, and I feel at this point absent if I don't do it. Like if you forget to brush your teeth, there's that feeling of ooh, my teeth feel not good. The yoga practice cleans my body from the inside out. My meditation practice cleans my mind from the inside out, and both together just keep everything really healthy. And that's good dental hygiene. This is good spiritual hygiene to practice. You don't need to be inspired to brush your teeth every day. You just got to do it. And that's the way I think of my yoga practice. So let's see more questions. Maybe a few more questions before it's time. Ooh, we got a cloud. I like that cloud right now. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Vanessa's got a question. Hi, Vanessa. Do you meditate first, then do asana, or the other way around? You can do it. Oh, I love that cloud. Cloud, you're my friend right now. It's a very small cloud. It's going to go away very, very quickly. Okay. I meditate first because I really enjoy the clear, calm space when I'm awake first thing in the morning. So I do my meditation first, and then I do my asana practice. But if it works better for you to do it the other way around, you can do it the other way around. Oh my God, the screen now is so dark I can barely see. So, okay, I'll do 1 or 2 more questions. Where did I learn yoga from? Thanks for asking that question. So I learned yoga from India. I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years, consistently, the Ashtanga yoga method. Before that, yoga was in my life. But my teachers are from India, and all yoga comes from India. And I've been making trips to India back and forth for the last 20 years to continue my practice. I really believe in honoring the lineage of yoga and honoring the spiritual tradition of yoga from India. My teachers are from the small South Indian city called Mysore, and I'm so, so grateful to them because I wouldn't be here today without their belief in me and their dedication to the practice. So I really give honor and all the gratitude to the lineage of teachers that comes before me. And I'm so, so grateful. I can only encourage everyone who wants to go study yoga in India, of course, when the time becomes safe, in this, pandemic times, that you go and you do the practice there and find a really, really good teacher wherever you are. There are lots of very interesting questions. Let's see. Okay, we're going to do one more question. No. There are so many questions. Thank you so much for asking all these questions. My goodness, I'm going to have to do a live that just goes through and answers all the questions. Okay, I'm just going to choose one and see what's here. Okay, let's, it's hard to see right now, so I look a little weird, I'm sure, for all of you who are watching me. Okay, let's go for this one. There is a question about recommendation for meditation. Ooh, I'm sweating out here. My goodness. All right, so meditation. I practice a style of meditation called Vipassana meditation, and I do a breakdown every day of mindfulness, which is called Anapana meditation, and then I practice Vipassana, and then I end with what's called Metta, or loving kindness. And this mindfulness training, you can begin right now. I believe that everybody can benefit from 5 minutes a day meditation, and I believe in that so much so that I made a 30 days of mindfulness course that you can pop over to my YouTube channel, which if you're not following me on my YouTube channel, you should. It's like free yoga, meditation, and spiritual lifestyle content that's just available for everyone. So I believe that everybody should start meditating. I think the world would be a better place if we were to actually move into more and more deeper states of connection with the mind and the body. And I believe that for me, my yoga practice is a form of prayer. It's a way that I connect to the universal presence of God, of divinity, of source energy, of the supreme being. And for me, this is my, you could almost say it's a form of worship, a form of prayer, a form of connection. And maybe that's why, I get my mat and do my practice every day. And I hope this inspires you to do the practice of yoga, continue practicing, whether you practice with me or with someone else. And otherwise, everyone, I always take requests for tutorials. The next month, I'm going to be focusing on the Ashtanga Yoga method, which is a method of yoga that I practice and teach. So if you want to join the challenge, just stay here with me on Instagram, and you'll see me every day, and we can keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. All right, send you a lot of love. See you later. Bye.